Hey everyone. If there's one powerful thing you can do each year to help your body fight chronic disease while improving the way you look and feel, it may be committing to a 7-day fast. It sounds intense, but many leading health experts believe this type of fasting can completely transform your metabolic health and even help protect your body against serious illness. Researchers studying cancer metabolism, including experts like Dr. Thomas Seyfried, have talked about how extended fasting may be one of the most effective strategies for creating an internal environment where disease struggles to thrive. In this video from the Weird Lab, we're going to break down exactly what happens inside your body during a prolonged fast, along with how to prepare properly and safely end the fast to get the best possible results. One of the first major changes that happens during fasting is improved blood sugar control and increased insulin sensitivity. The reality is that a huge percentage of people today are constantly dealing with unstable blood sugar and chronically elevated insulin levels without even realizing it. When insulin stays high all the time, your body has a very hard time accessing stored fat and using it as fuel. But once you begin fasting for 12, 14, or 16 hours, insulin levels start dropping. As they continue to fall, your body eventually switches from relying on sugar for energy to burning stored fat instead. This is especially important if you're carrying excess belly fat or visceral fat, the dangerous fat that wraps around organs like the liver and heart. Around the 8 to 12 hour mark, your body begins pulling energy directly from these fat stores. That means your system is literally breaking down harmful visceral fat and converting it into fuel. This process can help reduce stress on vital organs and improve how cells inside the liver and heart function. Excess visceral fat is strongly connected to conditions like heart disease, fatty liver disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers, which is why this metabolic shift can be so powerful. As fasting continues, your body also begins producing ketones. Your brain constantly needs energy, and normally it runs mostly on glucose. But during fasting, your liver converts fatty acids into ketone bodies, which are smaller molecules capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier. Ketones are more than just backup fuel for the brain. They actually support brain performance in several ways. One of the most important is that they encourage mitochondrial biogenesis, meaning your brain starts creating more mitochondria. Since mitochondria are responsible for producing cellular energy, having healthier and more efficient mitochondria can improve mental clarity, focus, and overall brain function. Ketones also help calm inflammation throughout the body and brain. They act almost like messengers that influence gene activity, helping switch off inflammatory pathways that can damage tissues over time. While you're fasting, this rise in ketones supports better cellular efficiency, reduced inflammation, and improved energy production. Another key process activated during fasting is autophagy, often described as the body's internal cleanup system. Over time, damaged cellular components build up, including old and dysfunctional mitochondria that no longer work efficiently. These worn-out mitochondria take up valuable space inside cells and can contribute to fatigue, poor metabolism, and disease. Through a more targeted form of autophagy called metaphagy, the body begins clearing out these damaged mitochondria so healthier, more efficient ones can replace them. This renewal process helps improve fat burning, energy production, and overall cellular health. Extended fasting also creates major changes inside the gut microbiome. Your gut contains trillions of bacteria that influence digestion, immunity, inflammation, and even mood. Many scientists now believe long-term health is deeply connected to the condition of the gut lining and the balance of bacteria living there. Certain harmful bacteria thrive in higher oxygen environments and can release inflammatory compounds like lipopolysaccharides or LPS. These toxins can increase inflammation throughout the body and negatively affect metabolic health. On the other hand, beneficial anaerobic bacteria prefer low oxygen environments. These microbes produce important compounds like butyrate and urolithin A, which help strengthen the intestinal lining, support mitochondria, and lower inflammation. During fasting, harmful bacteria are deprived of their usual fuel sources, while the environment inside the gut becomes more favorable for beneficial bacteria to grow. At the same time, mitochondrial function in the intestinal lining improves, helping remove oxygen from the gut and creating better conditions for these healthier microbes to thrive. This shift can reduce inflammatory toxins while strengthening the gut itself. Another fascinating effect of prolonged fasting is the increase in human growth hormone. Growth hormone plays a huge role in preserving muscle tissue, supporting fat burning, strengthening bones, and helping regulate immune function. At the same time, fasting lowers levels of insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1. While IGF-1 is involved in growth processes, chronically elevated levels have also been linked to increased cancer growth. Fasting creates a unique balance where growth hormone rises while IGF-1 falls, helping preserve lean tissue while potentially reducing conditions that allow abnormal cell growth to thrive. And finally, extended fasting appears to activate longevity-related pathways in the body, including something known as the sirtuin genes. These genes are heavily associated with cellular repair, stress resistance, metabolic health, and healthy aging. So during a 7-day fast, your body isn't simply not eating. It's actually shifting into a completely different biological state, one focused on repair, regeneration, fat burning, inflammation reduction, and cellular renewal. What's really fascinating is that fasting may actually slow down the biological aging process at the cellular level. In other words, your actual age and your body's biological age don't always have to match. Someone could be 50 years old chronologically, but their cells may function more like those of a 30-year-old. One reason for this is the activation of longevity pathways, including the sirtuin genes, which are strongly connected to cellular repair and healthy aging. Extended fasting also encourages your body to produce more stem cells naturally. This is important because stem cells act like the body's internal repair system. People spend thousands of dollars on stem cell treatments hoping to improve joint problems, chronic pain, or tissue degeneration. But during a prolonged fast, your body can begin stimulating its own endogenous stem cell production naturally. These new cells help replace older damaged cells throughout the body, including tissues that have been weakened by chronic stress, inflammation, or aging. The result is greater resilience, less breakdown over time, and better recovery at the cellular level. Many researchers believe this regenerative effect is one reason fasting is linked to improved metabolic health and lower risk factors for chronic illness. Another major benefit involves the removal of dysfunctional cells, often referred to as zombie cells. These are damaged cells that no longer function properly, but instead of dying off, they stay in the body and release harmful inflammatory compounds that negatively affect nearby tissues. When someone struggles with conditions like heart disease, diabetes, fatty liver disease, neurodegenerative disorders, or cancer, it often points to an accumulation of these dysfunctional cells creating stress throughout the body. During an extended fast, the body increases its cleanup and recycling processes, helping eliminate these damaged cells and replace them with healthier, more resilient ones. Researchers like Dr. Thomas Seyfried of Boston College, known for his work on cancer metabolism and the book Cancer as a Metabolic Disease, have discussed how prolonged fasting may create one of the strongest metabolic environments for disease prevention and cellular healing. While fasting research is still growing, one challenge is that there's little financial incentive behind studying something that doesn't involve selling a medication or product. The reality is that fasting is something humans have experienced naturally for thousands of years. Our ancestors didn't have unlimited access to food every few hours. There were seasons when food was abundant and seasons when it was scarce. During those periods without food, fasting became a normal part of survival. Modern research is beginning to confirm many of the biological effects connected to this process. For example, a 2021 study published in Clinical and Translational Medicine examined the effects of a 5-day water-only fast in healthy, normal-weight individuals. Researchers observed improvements in metabolic markers and anti-aging biomarkers without signs of toxicity. One especially interesting finding involved the immune system. While some immune cell counts temporarily decreased, regulatory T cells, often called TREGs, actually increased. These cells are extremely important because they help coordinate and balance the immune response. Think of it like throwing darts. Success doesn't come from throwing as many darts as possible. It comes from accuracy. One precise shot hitting the bullseye is more effective than multiple darts missing the target completely. A lot of people today have an immune system that's overreactive and poorly regulated. Instead of efficiently targeting harmful pathogens or damaged tissue, it creates unnecessary inflammation and collateral damage throughout the body. Regulatory T cells help fine-tune this process so the immune system becomes more controlled, efficient, and strategic. When TREG activity improves, the body becomes better at clearing pathogens, removing damaged tissue, and eliminating dysfunctional zombie cells while minimizing harm to surrounding healthy tissues. That balance is exactly what you want from a healthy immune response. Now let's walk through what happens during different stages of an extended fast. Around the 12-hour mark, your digestive system finally gets a break. Your body has enough time to complete a major portion of digestion, and the liver begins carrying out deeper detoxification and cleanup processes. So if you stop eating at 7 p.m. and fast until 7 a.m., your body has already entered an important recovery phase overnight. By 16 hours, insulin levels begin dropping more significantly, and your body shifts more heavily into fat-burning mode. Stored fat starts becoming the primary energy source instead of glucose. Once you reach about 20 hours, autophagy and metaphagy become more active. This is when the body starts breaking down damaged cellular material and recycling old mitochondria that no longer function efficiently. At the 24-hour point, the cleanup process intensifies even more. The body increases its efforts to remove dysfunctional zombie cells while growth hormone levels rise dramatically. In some cases, growth hormone can increase several-fold during fasting. This helps preserve muscle and bone tissue while supporting fat burning and immune balance. Between 36 and 48 hours, ketone production rises sharply. These ketones become a major fuel source for the brain and are associated with improved mental clarity, mitochondrial renewal, and neurotransmitter balance. This stage may also help reset dopamine sensitivity. Many people become conditioned to constant eating because food repeatedly stimulates dopamine release and reward pathways in the brain. Over time, this can create cravings and dependence on frequent stimulation from food. Fasting interrupts that cycle and may help recalibrate those reward systems, reducing cravings and improving appetite control. By the time you reach the 36 to 48-hour range of fasting, something really interesting begins happening in the brain. Your dopamine receptors start becoming more sensitive again. This essentially creates a dopamine reset, meaning your brain no longer needs the same level of stimulation to experience satisfaction or pleasure. That's important because many highly processed foods are designed to overstimulate dopamine pathways. Over time, this can lead to constant cravings and dependence on unhealthy foods just to feel good. But after an extended fast, people often notice they feel more satisfied with simple, healthy meals because the brain's reward system has become more balanced again. This stage of fasting is also associated with deeper neurological recovery and improved brain function. Many people report sharper thinking, improved focus, and better emotional balance during this phase. Once you move into the 72-hour range, the immune system goes through a major reset process. Then, as you enter the 100-hour mark and beyond, stem cell activity increases significantly. This is where the regenerative side of fasting becomes even more noticeable. Now, a lot of people ask why someone would continue from a 5-day fast all the way to 7 days. The answer really depends on their goals and current metabolic health. For individuals carrying extra weight, especially stubborn abdominal fat, extending the fast can lead to deeper fat-burning benefits and greater stem cell activation. Since the body is already operating in a strong fat-burning state by day 5, continuing for 2 additional days can significantly increase fat loss. Some people may lose several additional pounds of body fat during that extended period. On the other hand, if someone is already lean, metabolically healthy, and not struggling with excess body fat, a 5-day fast may provide most of the benefits they need. But for those who are overweight or trying to dramatically improve metabolic health and reduce chronic disease risk, going the full 7 days may produce more noticeable results. Another common question is what you can actually consume during a fast like this. Water should always be the foundation. Herbal teas are also fine, along with lemon water or diluted apple cider vinegar, such as 1 tablespoon mixed into a glass of water. These generally won't interfere with the fasting process. Coffee can also be helpful for some people, especially coffee rich in chlorogenic acids, often called CGAs. These compounds may help support autophagy and cellular cleanup processes. But coffee isn't right for everyone. If caffeine makes you anxious, increases cravings, causes a racing heart, or disrupts sleep, it's better to avoid it completely during the fast. Some individuals metabolize caffeine very slowly and simply don't feel good drinking it. However, many people tolerate coffee well and even find it improves energy and focus while fasting. If you choose to drink it, it's best earlier in the day, and preferably a light or medium roast, since darker roasts tend to contain lower levels of beneficial chlorogenic acids. It's also important to choose high-quality coffee that's low in mold, mycotoxins, pesticides, and chemical residues. The Weird Lab recommends selecting organic, clean-sourced coffee whenever possible because lower-quality coffee can sometimes contain unwanted contaminants that may negatively affect health. Preparing for the fast properly is just as important as the fast itself. About 3 days before beginning, it's a good idea to eliminate processed foods completely and focus on nutrient-dense meals rich in protein and healthy fats. Aim for balanced meals containing quality protein sources like grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, pasture-raised eggs, or other whole food proteins. Healthy fats from avocados, coconut oil, and high-quality extra virgin olive oil can help stabilize blood sugar and keep you feeling satisfied. At the same time, avoid inflammatory industrial seed oils such as soybean, corn, safflower, and cottonseed oil. These oils can contribute to inflammation and poor metabolic function. Adding colorful vegetables and fruits is also extremely helpful before fasting because they provide antioxidants and polyphenols that support gut health, liver function, and cellular protection. Bitter foods like arugula, garlic, onions, radishes, dandelion greens, and artichokes may help stimulate bile flow and support natural detoxification pathways. Cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli and cauliflower are also excellent choices. People also ask how often they should do an extended fast. For general health and longevity, doing a prolonged fast once a year may already provide meaningful benefits. But individuals focused on major weight loss or metabolic recovery sometimes repeat shorter extended fasts more frequently, such as once every few months or even monthly under proper guidance. When combined with a healthy blood sugar stabilizing lifestyle, fasting can produce remarkable body composition changes. Many people experience major fat loss while still maintaining or even improving muscle mass over time. That's because outside of fasting periods, strength training and high-intensity exercise are strongly encouraged. During the fast itself, though, the best form of movement is usually low-intensity activity like walking. Heavy workouts or intense weight training can place too much stress on the body while fasting. Instead, daily walks help support fat burning, calm the nervous system, improve circulation, and make the fasting process more manageable overall. Breaking the fast correctly is also critical. After several days without food, the digestive system becomes less active, so you want to reintroduce food gradually and gently. The first meals should focus on easy-to-digest options like bone broth, protein shakes, steamed vegetables, fermented foods such as sauerkraut or kimchi, and other soft, nourishing foods. These are easier on the digestive tract and help wake the system back up slowly. More difficult to digest foods, especially heavier meats, should usually be added back gradually over the next couple of days. Soups or stews with slow-cooked meat tend to work better initially because the food is softer and easier to digest compared to tougher cuts like steak. By around day 4 after the fast, most people can comfortably transition back into a balanced, whole food nutrition plan focused on stable blood sugar and healthy metabolism. And finally, one of the most helpful things you can do during an extended fast is not do it alone. Having a fasting partner or support system can make a huge difference. Being able to check in with someone, share experiences, and stay accountable often makes the process much easier mentally and emotionally. So if you know someone who's interested in improving their health, reducing inflammation, burning fat, or exploring the benefits of fasting, share this information with them. Going through the process together can make the journey far more effective and encouraging. Thanks for watching from the Weird Lab, and we'll see you again in another video soon.